Sie war finanziell ein beachtlicher Erfolg. Im vergangenen Jahr konnten wir rund 1 Milliarde Euro von Partnern einwerben. Daran wollen wir anknüpfen und die Initiative fortführen als Enduring Action on Air Defense mit hoffentlich gleichem oder größerem Erfolg. Außerdem, und das wird dann morgen der Fall sein und heute darüber hinaus, vergrößert sich die Gruppe der Unterstützer, die beim Aufbau der ukrainischen Fähigkeiten zum elektromagnetischen Kampf mithelfen wollen. Belgien, Estland, Italien, Schweden und die Türkei wollen sich unserer Capability Coalition anschließen. Gemeinsam wollen wir in dieser dafür sorgen, dass die ukrainischen Fähigkeiten im elektromagnetischen Kampf weiter gestärkt werden. Dazu zählt, Sie wissen, dass die Sicherstellung der eigenen Kommunikation, die Aufklärung und Störung der gegnerischen Kommunikation und vor allen Dingen natürlich, und das mit zunehmender Bedeutung, die Drohnenabwehr. Soweit von mir. Fest steht, die Ukraine kann sich auf Deutschland auch weiter verlassen.
Herr Minister, welches Signal geht von dem heutigen Treffen aus, wenn die USA nicht mal mehr auf Ministerebene vertreten waren?
Also erstens war der amerikanische Kollege, glaube ich, einmal persönlich da. Die Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika haben sehr früh angekündigt, das Format in der Form mit ihrem Vorsitz nicht fortführen zu wollen. Das haben wir zu akzeptieren, und Großbritannien und Deutschland sind hier in den Lead gegangen und haben die Führung übernommen. Wir werden heute einen neuen Ansatz vorstellen. Darüber wird dann in der Pressekonferenz zu berichten sein. Wir wollen das ein bisschen anders strukturieren, etwas besser strukturieren. Das ist eine Entscheidung der Amerikaner, die ich nicht zu bewerten habe. Entscheidend ist, dass wir im Gespräch bleiben, und das tun wir. Morgen wird Piltexit dabei sein.
Herr Minister, eine Frage zu der spektakulären Aktion, die Sie ja schon erwähnt haben. Dabei sind ja Bomber zerstört worden, die auch ein Teil der russischen nuklearen Abschreckung sind. Jetzt wird mit einer massiven Antwort der Russen gerechnet. Wie bereiten Sie sich darauf vor? Was erwarten Sie? Wird das hier auch besprochen werden?
Also Rustem Umerov wird sicherlich dazu nachher Ausführungen machen, womit sie rechnen und worauf sie sich vorbereiten. Aber auch das wird er mit der gebotenen Zurückhaltung auch in diesem Kreis tun. Womit zu rechnen ist oder womit gerechnet werden kann und wozu die russischen Streitkräfte tatsächlich in der Lage und wozu Putin willens ist, das können wir nur spekulieren am Ende. Ich glaube, dass die Ukrainer gut vorbereitet sind, auch mit der Unterstützung, die sie von uns weiter kriegen.
Herr Minister, Präsident Zelenskyy bittet seit Monaten vor allem auch um zusätzliche Patriots. Glauben Sie, dass Sie mit Ihrer neuen Initiative ihm jetzt auch irgendwie mehr Patriots besorgen können?
Also wir strengen uns seit Monaten intensiv dafür an. Deutschland hat 1/4 seiner eigenen Patriot-Systeme abgegeben. Wir, das habe ich auch dem Kollegen letzte Woche sehr deutlich gesagt, wir sind nicht in der Lage, weitere Systeme abzugeben. Aber wir werben dafür in den Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika, aber auch bei anderen Alliierten, dass sie Patriots oder ähnliche Systeme zur Verfügung stellen. Und wir haben auch angeboten, jeweils im Einzelfall zu prüfen, ob wir bereit sind, ein System, das zur Verfügung gestellt wird, zu bezahlen. Einfach weil wir sagen, es geht jetzt um Geschwindigkeit und auf Nachlieferung von Bestellungen des Herstellers können wir nicht warten. Das dauert einfach immer noch zu lang.
Die Amerikaner haben Deutschland seine Armee vergrößern, wenn die NATO will 40.000 Soldatinnen und Soldaten mehr haben.
Wie wir das machen wollen? Ja. Naja, indem wir erstens die Attraktivität des Dienstes bei der Bundeswehr deutlich erhöhen wollen. Wir haben einen ersten Schritt dazu gemacht durch das Artikelgesetz vom Anfang des Jahres. Das ist ein echter Paradigmenwechsel, von der Öffentlichkeit kaum zur Kenntnis genommen, aber es ermöglicht viele Dinge, die vorher nicht möglich waren. Und schon vor diesem Gesetz ist es uns gelungen, im Januar, im Februar im Vergleich zum Vorjahresstichtag die Zahl der Einstellungen im militärischen Bereich um über 20% zu steigern. Das reicht noch nicht, aber es ist ein wichtiger Einstieg, und diese Kurve wollen wir weiter nach oben laufen lassen. Und gleichzeitig werden wir über den neuen Wehrdienst zusätzliche junge Männer und Frauen, sobald das Gesetz in Kraft tritt, Ende des Jahres hoffentlich dann für die Bundeswehr gewinnen können. We will discuss that later when I meet John Healey.
Die Amerikaner scheinen ja nicht mehr bereit, ihre finanzielle Unterstützung für die Dinge fortzusetzen. Wer kann denn in der Allianz und wie diese Lücke schließen?
Also Ihre Hypothese besagt ja, dass es so scheint, als ob. Und ich sage, bislang gibt es keine Anzeichen, dass das endgültig ist. Es kann passieren, ja, aber die Europäer sind bereit und Deutschland ist bereit, hier in die Verantwortung zu gehen. Was wir kompensieren können, wird sich zeigen. Wir zeigen aber sehr klar, dass wir entschlossen sind, die Ukraine hier nicht alleine zu lassen und zu tun, was nötig und möglich ist, um die Ukraine in ihrem Abwehrkampf zu unterstützen. Und wir setzen weiter darauf, und der Bundeskanzler wird ja heute nach Washington reisen, dass in seinen Gesprächen dort Bewegung erreicht werden kann. Okay, vielen Dank.
Hello, so I'm Lithuanian Defense Minister, and a couple of short messages. So first of all, defense investment pledge 2032 should be out of question. It's definitely too late. If we are able to do simple maths and we talk about Russia's ability to be ready, well, possibly to test NATO in just a few years, possibly 27, 28, 29, so 2032 is, well, most likely after the war. So we cannot talk about that. Now, talking about Ukraine, you recognize true friends not during a party, but when you do have difficult times. So therefore, our continuation of support for Ukraine and increasing it is of utmost importance. If we fail with support to Ukraine, then Russia and China's coordinated action globally will actually sow such level of chaos and discord that we won't be able to restore our world order ever. Thank you.
One question, what does it mean that the US today is not represented at ministerial level? What kind of signal does it give for this?
Well, in Shangri-La, I've heard from Defense Secretary Hexet that he is going to be in Europe, both here in Brussels and in Hague, so I don't know anything about that. Obviously, we in Lithuania have 4% for defense this year, and we are going to have about 5.5% for defense for the next 5 years, since 2026, because we understand that basically Russia do not care, they are not interested in our declarations and papers. Hard military power, and that means money.
How are you convincing allies that pushing for 2022 won't be ready to...
Well, we will have a discussion today and tomorrow.
What's your target date?
Sorry?
What's your target date?
Well, I'd say that 2030 is the latest, but I am not happy with 2030 either. I mean, we are strongest alliance, not only militarily, but also economically. When we talk about extensions and procrastinations for states that have GDP, well, much bigger than that of Russia, then it's not serious. I mean, is it really that difficult to understand that it doesn't really matter how much you invest if it is too late? For, I don't know, a cancer patient, it's not really important if he will get treatment in 2 years or in 3 years if he's going to be dead. He has to get that treatment right now. So I think that should be clear.
What was your reaction when you saw the Ukraine attack on the Russian air bases?
Well, it was my birthday actually on the 1st of June, so it was a very good news.
Have you had a commitment from the UK to commit to 5% defence spending? Have you had that commitment?
We will have discussions, as I said, today and tomorrow, and I think that what is very important for us is to understand that NATO capability targets, they are worth nothing if they are just a piece of paper. And if also they are implemented in, 10 years, then also they are worth nothing. Okay, thank you guys.
Ja, precies, ja.
Goedemiddag. Kunt u ons duidelijkheid verschaffen of Nederland de staat is om de NAVO-top in NAVO commitment te geven voor een nieuwe NAVO van 5%, waarvan 3,5% voor militair aan?
Yes, so maybe let me start in English, and then I will come to some Dutch questions. We in the Netherlands have a new political situation since yesterday, but regarding international security, regarding defense, our support to Ukraine, the position of the Dutch government will remain the same. Our efforts will remain the same. So basically we will continue business as usual, you could say, because of course the international threats are still the same. And in order to protect ourselves and to strengthen both the military and our alliance, we need to continue the important work we do. So the efforts and the position of the Netherlands will remain similar. For today's UDCG, I announce a new support package of 400 million in maritime security. This will include more than 100 vessels, patrol boats, transport boats, interceptors, special operations craft, so a broad array of more than 100 vessels. Secondly, the package also includes sea drones, over 50 sea drones. And third, it will also include weapon systems, sensors, reserve parts, training, so a full package to strengthen the maritime security of Ukraine. This is very important because we do see that the Russian threats in both the Black Sea but also around Kherson and in the Dnieper River are increasing. So this is very important for Ukraine to protect itself against that. And also, of course, we want to support Ukraine in freedom of navigation and maintaining the trade routes and the sea routes. So an important support package that we announced today.
What kind of signal is coming from this UDCG when the United States are not even represented at ministerial level anymore?
We do know, of course, that the position regarding military aid of the current administration has changed. But we do need to see also in the upcoming weeks and months what that means. We also see that Russia and Putin are not willing to truly negotiate. And I think the United States is also starting to realize that. So we should do two things. One is to increase pressure on Russia, and on the other hand, keep supporting Ukraine. And the fact that they are still participating with their ambassador, I think that's very important because we also see that other countries are doing that as well. So I don't see that as a sign of detachment, so to say. But of course, we need to keep working together with the United States to maintain our support.
Minister, de nieuwe NAVO-norm. Kunt u ons duidelijkheid geven? Waar staat Nederland?
Wij hebben steeds gezegd dat wij het van belang vinden dat er een nieuwe norm wordt afgesproken, omdat de investeringen in defensie omhoog moeten. We hebben ook gezegd dat we het van belang vinden dat 32 landen dat die op één lijn komen wat dat betreft. Dus wij zullen morgen ook dat ook als standpunt duidelijk maken als we het daar binnen de NAVO over hebben. Maar als er straks een concreet voorstel voor ligt waar van Nederland ook gevraagd wordt om daar ja of nee tegen te zeggen, dan bepalen wij het standpunt in het kabinet en dan zullen we daar ook over communiceren.
Ja, wat belangrijk natuurlijk is, vanwege de demissionaire status, is dat u daar ook voldoende steun voor krijgt om dat commitment af te geven in de Tweede Kamer. Heeft u er vertrouwen in dat er voldoende politieke steun is voor een verhogende defensieuitgaven?
Ik heb daar alle vertrouwen in, want in de afgelopen debatten heeft steeds een ruime meerderheid in de Kamer gezegd dat die defensieuitgaven omhoog moeten en dat dat ook betekent dat de NAVO met 32 landen daar een nieuwe norm in moet zetten. Dus ik verwacht dat als het gaat om het zetten van die nieuwe norm, dat daar brede steun voor is. De vervolgvraag die ook na de top zal komen over hoe dat dan moet worden gefinancierd, dat is een bredere vraag die ook meer tijd zal nemen en waar nog langer over gesproken zal worden. Maar het op zichzelf instemmen met een hogere norm, daar verwacht ik brede politieke steun voor. Yeah, so it will not have any impact on the NATO summit. In the Netherlands, we are quite used of having a caretaker government for a longer time. That's partly because we had a few elections over the last couple of years, but also because creating a new coalition always takes some time. It can be half a year or sometimes even longer. So what we saw last time as well is that the caretaker government was still as active as normally regarding many topics. And as I said before, we as the caretaker government have decided to keep doing the same thing when it comes to defense, international security and foreign affairs. So also regarding the NATO summit, we will make this a great success. We will set a new ambition with 32 countries in unity. And it's going to be a successful summit. No one, no visitor, no participant will see or experience any difference. No, I think most parties or many parties in the Dutch parliament, they do understand the threats that we are facing. They do understand the necessity to invest more in defense. They also see the value of setting a new norm, of setting the Hague investment pledge. They expressed that in previous debates as well. So I don't think that they need another call from anyone. But it's always good, of course, to have different people explain. Secretary General of NATO, also military commanders, also defense ministers like myself, to explain more about the threats that we are seeing, but also our intelligence agencies are seeing, and therefore also explaining the need for our security to invest this additional amount of money.
What do you make of this Ukrainian operation Spiderweb, and what does it mean for the security of Dutch air bases like Leeuwarden?
I think it has shown us once more how Ukraine is able to exceed any expectations, how Ukraine is able to use its creativity to surprise us. What we have seen also over the last couple of days, I think that Ukraine has shown us that if we keep supporting them and if our deliveries remain solid, that they can do remarkable things. So for me, it's only an encouragement to do even more. Of course, we should never underestimate the enemy. We should never underestimate Russia. And also look after our own security, also of our own military bases. That remains important. But we don't see any new threats after what Ukraine did, so that's not a reason now to do something addition. But we need to remain alert and first and foremost support Ukraine to make sure that they can continue the fight.
Do you think that 2032 is a realistic goal? One of your colleagues just realized that it will be too late, it will be after the war.
So we do need to talk about this. I think we need to find a balance between the military necessity, the financial, where the countries can implement it, where the countries can financially include it in their budgets. We also need to make sure that 32 countries are aligned on this. So we need to find a balance with this. But given, if I look at it from a military perspective, of course there is a great urgency. So we should not set the goal too far into the future.
Sir, do you believe a 5% amount of GDP being spent on defence, which is now being demanded by the Americans, is realistic? Is that something that you could afford?
So I think there are two things that we need to separate. One is to set the goal. In The Hague at the next NATO summit, I think it's important to agree on a new goal because we need to increase our defense spending. And then the question is, of course, how are you going to fund this? And that question is different for every country. We in the Netherlands, we're also going to discuss that to see how we can do it. And it's not easy because we are slightly above the 2%. So if you want to get towards 3.5% or even further, then that requires some serious measures and some serious changes in your budget. And we also in the Netherlands, we will need to take some time in order to get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. Please be seated. I'm very happy to see you all here again in Brussels for our UDCG. President Zelenskyy is already online, or not yet? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Rustam, John, Mark, Rutte, my friends, welcome to the 28th UDCG, and thank you all for joining us in this meeting of the Ramstein group here in Brussels. Mr. President, dear Volodymyr, it is a great honor to have you with us today. Your presence at today's UDCGs sends a strong and clear signal not only of partnership but also of unity and resilience. It means a lot to us to hear directly from you about the realities on the ground and the needs of your country. These personal insights are indispensable addition to existing reports or briefings. I'm sure they sharpen our sense of responsibility once more. Your leadership continues to inspire us, as does the strength and courage, the unity and resilience the Ukrainian people have shown every day in the face of this ruthless war. Let me reassure you, we stand firmly by Ukraine's side, now and in the future. We will continue to support your country politically, financially, militarily, and in humanitarian terms, for as long as it takes. Thank you for being with us today, and let me now, without further ado, give the floor to you.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Dear friends, dear ministers, Minister Pistorius, thank you so much for strong, warm words. Thank you very much for your support. And thanks to all of you partners, friends, ministers and generals. Thank you for standing with us, with Ukraine, and for helping us defend our country, our independence, and the lives of our people. Today is a deeply symbolic and painful day. Every year on June 4th, we honor the memory of the Ukrainian children who were killed by Russia in this war. We know of 631 children with names and surnames who have died as a result of Russian shelling, airstrikes, and missile attacks since the start of the full-scale invasion. And if we count from the beginning of the war in 2014, 872 children have been killed. But tragically, this number is not final. And you've seen satellite images of the occupied parts of Ukraine, images showing mass graves in areas now controlled by Russian forces near Mariupol and other cities in the east and south of our country. In these mass graves lie tens of thousands of people, at least tens of thousands. And Russian army has turned our cities and villages in Donetsk region and beyond into ruins. And this is exactly what we are fighting to stop. We are fighting against death, the death that Russia is bringing to our land. Dear friends, let us now take a moment of silence to honor all Ukrainian children and all our people, civilians and soldiers, whose lives have been taken by this war. Please. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And we have no doubt that we can push Russia toward peace. But for that, we must continue to pressure Moscow with all available tools and step by step make its aggression meaningless. First, air defense. The stronger our air defense is, the less value Putin sees in attacking our cities and villages. So please, let's continue strengthening our air shield. I thank every leader, every country, and each of you who is already helping. But you also know we need faster deliveries of air defense missiles and systems. Our team has provided clear data on the number of systems we need, especially Patriot systems. And these are the most effective way to force Russia to stop its missile strikes and terror. And we have also started discussions with some of your countries about localizing the production of air defense systems such as NASAMS, IRIS-T, SAMT, and others in Ukraine. Let's make it happen. These systems will strengthen our shared security because what we build here will protect us all. Second, investment. We already have strong partnership for producing weapons in Ukraine, and several joint projects are already up and running, and we need to scale this up by at least 50%. Ukrainian industry still has significant untapped capacity. It just needs financing. Our team can provide you with detailed calculations, and our soldiers, especially those on the front line and involved in operations like Spiderweb, are proving that our drones truly save lives and deliver real results. We only have 17 billion available for weapons procurement from our own national budget for our 35 billion industry. The funding gap is 18 billion. It's crucial that today's Ramstein meeting results in real agreements for joint production and investment in Ukraine's defense industry. I urge you to stay fully engaged in building new defense packages for our soldiers. Third, the coalition of the willing. We have already started working with some of the countries here on real security guarantees and political steps to prevent the war from spreading or starting again. I thank each country already involved, but we need to stay practical to prepare decisions, infrastructure, and coordination. Let's speed this up at the team level. And, dear friends, one more thing. We must not allow Russia to blur reality or mislead the world. Moscow must be forced into diplomacy. We need ceasefire. We need real peace. We need real security. And we must use every method available to achieve this. Our front line and our defense, our production and technology, our work to build a real security architecture. And we must be effective in all of it, I'm sure. Thank you to everyone who is helping us. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your introducing remarks. I could not agree more. It's about support Ukraine as long as it takes and whatever we are able to achieve within our within the limits of our available means. This is the absolutely most important thing we have to achieve in the weeks and months to come. And beside that, I could not agree more when we talk about ceasefire and real peace. And it is not about peace for any price, it's about peace and freedom and sovereignty. So let's work on that together in the month to come. Once more, a warm welcome on behalf of John and me to all of you joining us and accepting our invitation once more. And let me highlight in the beginning, quite personally, first of all, I'm back on board and have just started my second term as Germany's defense minister. I'm really happy about that. While this is formally a new chapter for us in Germany, the truth is the work never paused. Following up on our conversation in Berlin last week and to what I said earlier, Rustem, let me again assure you that our support for Ukraine will continue to be a priority, both for the German government and also for me personally. This is a matter close to my heart. Germany wants to help Ukraine end this war from a position of strength. Russia's resorts to anything to achieve its aims. Russian troops are trying with all their might to make further territorial gains in the Donbas. They continue to target Ukrainian cities and civilian infrastructure with air and drone strikes, including in areas far away from the front line. However, to me, this is a sign of weakness, not of strength. Russia's air raids of the past weeks, its attacks with drones, cruise missiles and glide bombs against cities and civilian infrastructure. These are all signs of moral and military weakness. These actions are Russia's attempt to hide the fact that its frontline troops are making hardly any progress against Ukraine's brave defenses. Russia's illegal war is killing not only Ukrainian military personnel, but also Ukrainian civilian men, women, and children. At the same time, Russia pays no mind to its own losses. Every inch of Ukrainian territory they capture comes at such a devastating cost, paid for with losses we cannot even imagine. Yet Putin has not accomplished any of his strategic goals. A military success of Russia is neither imminent nor to be expected. Putin could put an end to this war now. However, Moscow has made it clear that it is unwilling to find a peaceful solution, continuing to insist on its maximum demands while continuing hostilities on every level. But Russia will fail.